I'm going to get a little more into the squeeze here, since that's another big part of it. At around this time, 33 years old, deep into 33 now, get into the squeeze of Jesus, which was actually more like Jesus. He squeezed out of early civilization of this kind of time period, where it's a lot of stone building, heavy stone, heavyweight structures, like it's out there in the woodlands, and it's similar to this. And it's not stupid either. A lot of men here wouldn't know how to do that. It would take them a while. Anyways, Jesus is squeezed out. Same thing by the same rules there, over time eventually. And he's seen as kind of one of these hotshot dykes there. Claims he's from God, blah, blah, blah. Squeezed out by the river and the hills there, and there ain't no shelter. It's different from the structures, the stone heavyweights. And the devil comes out, knowing that Jesus was squeezed out too. The devil comes out for every guy that's squeezed out. It's kind of their last shot kind of thing, they make it think. Some go into a shredding like Jesus. He did the damage, and he was cursing the builder of the place, which is a guy like Cain, let's just say, right? From what I know, from my experience anyways. So there's old Cain, already one of the big devils into it, let's say, and he comes out, and they just say the devil. And he comes out, he's walking like a bird, he's got his tunic on. Jesus is tossed out by the woodlands, by the river, and he's got his little white out fucking robe there. And there comes the old devil with the rock, right? Because Jesus has been squeezed out. The same things he squeezed his brother out and beat his brother over a rock for was because his info was way better than what he was doing. And he had to kill his brother because he was jealous and got very greener-eyed and wanted to be the power, wanted to be the builder. And there's only one strong man that could go on. What he did was the same thing. He comes with Jesus for a low blow after he's been squeezed out for the reasons, like the damage. And he's gonna beat this fucking cunt, this sinner. After they're tossed out, they rock them. Back in the days where they only get a few. And it's just, he sees it as another guy to talk to too, kind of by the bloodline. They fear Jesus because that was the son that was coming to toss them out for their sins too. And it makes them fear and feel guilty and ashamed for what he's saying too. It's also very high level stuff, and makes Jesus known to God as the son and stuff. And he's getting the devil on some stuff too, and the devil comes out, he's got to put his hand up. He doesn't go down to that level, even if he's tossed out. He doesn't go down to that level. And what the devil wants is to pound your content too, to try to get you in line, to take your cock off after you did that too. Because same thing, he's going to be doing it to other people. He did it to his own brothers, and Jesus is kind of like another brother that comes out as one of these guys that sticks out in the building world, but gets squeezed out somehow, gets squeezed out. It's usually an argument too, and they're tossed out by someone else's arrogance, even if they're wrong with the argument. And next thing you know, they go up the hill, and the devil says, all you have to do is bow down, and you can have the kingdom. But he didn't do that because they were cutting down anything superstitious. It was a bloody rule. When the apes come in as homos and have to be snared and taught how to do things, that's how you evolve. They get into a different mindset. A lot of it's still the old same apes and cavemen out there and people from nature way back. Jesus refused to do that and ends up later dying from his sin. Same thing in the hold, and the squeeze is coming. And there are guys that are in a deadlock too, and they're kind of, they got to keep in solid. But what's coming along is also putting them in the shredders. And they eventually end up squeezed out onto the cross once they get him, and then they decide treason because that's what he did in his place, and he kind of ran out and he hid from the old devil, but the old devil caught him and said, if you don't do that, you won't live. Just like any other ones, it's cut down superstition. They don't even care if it's their son. When their son breaks the rules, same thing, they're coming to snare him. and toss them out. Whereas Sonny there, those are guys right from the bloodline of the gods, and the big old devil as the angel here is tossed out, same thing. They're the power knot blasters taking heat out there. They've been tossed out 2 or 3 times, and it comes into a squeeze of a crusher, and you turn into a power knot blaster, and even the crusher can't get you. Just like in Star Wars, it's coming down, and Jabba the Hutt and the blaster comes up, and the shredders, and even those can't clap down on you. And they got you in solid. Watch out, because it's the Big Bang that tosses them all out, and they got these guys held in. Same thing, they're going after the sinners when they start squeezing them all out, and the guys that just kind of don't do anything as the apes, and other guys they hold in just for the job to burn them after. Just like Jesus is going to get anything on the devil. Now you got a guy like Big Boy, he's kind of like the young devil where Jesus was. Same thing, he comes out in his little hoodie and his tunic there from the material world, because it's the material world too, right? And it's also kind of getting to him, and everyone resorts to Cain and Abel when they say, like, there was when another rapper, his game's way up there, and another rapper's just kind of trap and he's crap, right? The only thing that's holding him up is the beat. Same thing, they'll come in there and treat you like a hot shot dyke and try to chop you down and toss you out because your mindset is not the same as other people, and you're evolving. They're using labels. These same labels are also defeating them too. They're using education as the reason. When Bop is evolving, and then the governors and all that, he's in a squeeze too. He shows them coming in with the rock blow when they're doing things like dikes. When Kenny steps up, right, trying to shred coin. Because you need coin here too. That's the funny thing. Once you're tossed out there, Jesus acted like he didn't need anything. Same thing happens to other men and women when they're tossed out. Whatever happened, the argument, you're going to act like you don't need it. And you're kind of like this spiritual being walking in the material world. You'll find out, man, it'll be great to get back in. And the devil's coming to rock you in the cunt for what you did too, and make you feel bad and shame and blame everything. But little do they know, Sonnies are evolving too, and they're in the heat. And they pack a big bang after too, and the devil's working his magic in there too. Devil's rules, it's not anything goes. And they think the guy's easier to kill because the young devil's at his masters. Weight is huge, right? It's the world of the giants. Watch out, because he's coming with the big bang back. He's in the shredding. And he's also working his magic, squeezing out all these cunts too. And the old boy caught you. The fact he's a power knot blaster, fucking hitting you in your cunt, is still the material world. Think about it, right? False claims, it's not bullshit. I mean, you got to be accurate, right? Same thing, you want to act like a dyke and say this and that and claim this and that. Watch out if you're squeezed. When you're squeezed out too, the devil's coming to beat your cunt in. And it put Jesus on the cross. Sonnies take the shredding and keeping solid until power knot blasters. And we're working our magic in there too, even the devil, right? Watch when you disturb the old devil, you won't get peace after. Don't say you're looking for it after. A little too late for that. Flaring up the old devil will get you, and you got to take the burn. You got to take the burn. When everyone's a whiteout and they're just insulted by intelligence and they say crazy, crazy, you're squeezed out. You can't do anything because you're not the same mindset as Bop. And Bop is in with the Cloud9 kind of dream with GB. Same mindset. No one can keep up with GB. Same thing. Bop is own legacy though. Held in. Not just like Jesus. Back for the old low punch. When you claim something that's not true, or you try to say the devil's weak and the devil is in solid. It's not like the old boy Jesus in solid in the city, greener-eyed monster. And watch out, because Jesus comes behind in this.